Welcome back, guys, to Heidi Talks Expedition Africa. Well, today Emily Clarke is with me. Hi, Emily. How are you?
Hi, Heidi. Well, thanks. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for taking time out to chat with us about adventure racing.
Thanks for having me. What an honor.
So, guys at home, I would really tell you that this is a very special girl. And please remember this name for the rest of your life, Emily Clarke. She is definitely, in my opinion, one of our future top adventure racers in South Africa and hopefully international. You know, when you've been doing this for over 20 years and you see somebody in a race, a very quiet person, maybe you will miss her completely. And then you just see how she goes about transitions and how easy she makes us look. And suddenly she starts popping up in our 120K races. They're like, oh, that's Emily. Oh, look at that girl. Suddenly it's top 3 teams. Emily, and it just happened overnight. So we've been seeing your progress in the last year and two in South Africa. But the most significant thing about this is in this lockdown time, myself and Stefan are busy doing the statistics about everybody and how many races they've done of Expedition Africa. And then Stefan said to me, Heidi, there's a girl called Emily Clarke. You know Emily who did now Rodrigues? We see her name on the 2014 list. Is that the same Emily Clarke? And immediately I give a WhatsApp. Emily, is that you? I just want to make sure 2014 was our Wild Coast race. For those of you who know the big, massive waves when we paddled into the waves. And Emily just said that, yes, Heidi, that was me. And she was 21 years old. So Emily, that was quite a big surprise. I mean, it's so wonderful to know that when you were 21, you did Wild Coast. You obviously disappeared. There's a few years lapse missing. And then that is the Emily, the girl which did so well in Rodrigues. We'll get to that part now. But tell us, how did that happen? On 21, how did you meet the people? How did you end up at the Wild Coast?
Sure, yeah, it was actually quite a funny story. So I raced with Guy McKechnie and Daryl and Christian, who are from Lesotho actually.
Yeah.
And a guy owned a bike shop just around the corner from my digs, my varsity digs. So I had taken my bike there a few times, and I mean, he's a hell of a character. But we got chatting, and he mentioned something about EA, and he kept speaking about EA. And he's like, oh, do you want to do EA? And then I was like, yeah, sure. What's EA? Well, I think he downplayed it quite a lot. And then we went on a couple of we went on a couple of missions as a team and did some crazy night training. And yeah, one thing led to another, and ended up on the start line of EA 2014 Wild Coast. And yeah, those waves were insane.
Please don't tell me that was your first sea paddle ever.
It was my first sea paddle ever.
And how long did it take to get out of those into the deep sea? How long was that, you think?
It was, I can't remember, but eventually I know that we ended up dragging our boat behind the breakers and then getting back on and going down the coastline. But flip, it was absolutely incredible. And I never dreamt I'd have been able to do that sort of thing. But yeah, we did it. It was amazing.
And then tell me, what else can you remember from that race? I mean, I know everybody always speaks about that big canyon. I don't know if you hit that canyon section at night, or because that was also races of expedition. You know what I mean? That was also one of the big legs, that canyon. Everybody will always speak about that leg. Was quite good.
Yeah. So there are a couple of distinctive memories I have from that race. The one was trying to get through the first night. I hadn't actually done a 24-hour race before that. So going through the night and into the next day was really hard for me. Those early morning hours and just breaking through the sleep. Oh no, it was, I was swaying around the road and on that very long trek leg and running out of food and just trekking and trekking and trekking, and it just never ended.
Oh,
And then,
girl.
yeah, that was really tough. So I don't know how long we trekked for, but it felt like days. It was days. Yeah, and then the stars on the one cycle, I just remember there being absolutely incredible stars out there. And at paddling into Port St. John's, when it was so freezing and someone had come in with hypothermia just before us. And I don't know, we missed the notice that someone was hypothermic and we had gone onto the water. And then we came in under that bridge, and it was like a distinctive, I've never felt so close to God. It was amazing. It was really cool. And then there were some really tough times when one of our teammates, he has diabetes and had to withdraw because of health reasons, and yeah, that was also quite a tough moment. But yeah, lots of highs, lots of lows, but
Sure.
overall.
Sure,
amazing.
that's amazing. And I mean, like you say, those lows are, if you speak to me about it now, it is so low. I can feel it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Feel how cold you are and how much of pain you
Yeah.
are. And wow, that is, yeah. I mean, maybe that's why it took so many years before you came back.
I don't know. Hey, I found after that race, I was certain I was going to come back the next year, and then that was actually my final year of university. So I came and started working and leave, and yeah, a whole lot of stuff got in the way. I started racing bikes again quite a lot, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like I missed out a bit. Those years of break.
Yeah, you know, Emily, you've touched onto something very close to my heart. And, you know, when you go through these deep waters, and, you know, for somebody, it might be, somebody might go through those waters in a 25K adventure race. For somebody else,
Yeah, for
might
sure.
get to that feeling in a 120K race. It's not meaning it needs to be an expedition 500 for everybody. So wherever's that limit where you go through those deep waters, you know, it does something to your heart and your soul.
Absolutely, yeah.
And, you know, if you're religious, obviously, you know, it means that is what it means to you. And if you're not, I mean, it definitely must touch you. It brings you so much closer to whatever you then believe in. But and that is special because that is when I feel really that the event has done something more than it's, you know, like, I mean, it touches your soul and makes you a better person because of all those things you couldn't pull out. You didn't pull out, you continued. And
Yeah.
those memories will be for you forever, for the rest of your life. And so, yeah, it's so special. It is so beautiful to hear it and for somebody that treasure it so much. And yeah, I know what happens. Life happens. You know, like you say, you have to go and study. A lot of people, you know, you get married and it's finances and families. There's so many things you go through like a circle. And all I can say from our side is I'm so happy that circle sort of came back to adventure racing for you.
Yeah.
And you said it was around 2 years ago, correct? When you started,
2018.
they were like 120 kind of distance races.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you
So
suddenly you're back and you're on our radar. And I just see this
yeah.
started
I don't even
races.
know what happened. Yeah. I said I don't even know what happened and how exactly I got back into it, but yeah, it's been a real privilege to get out there and race again. Yeah, last year was very, very special, being on the circuit. Yeah.
I mean, you also had, obviously, I think the one person speak to the next and the next, you know, the community is so small, the family is so small. And when the guy spots somebody with great potential, you know, like it's maybe a little bit of a fight to get that girl because we're not so many girls in South Africa. And I know Neverest, you raced with Neverest Key Health. I mean, you were fortunate there that Key Health came on board, and you guys had an incredible team, and they sponsored and looked after you guys for many races, and you got always podium. You were always racing there. You either took the win or second place, and I know it was a mixture of new youngsters. So that program, what they did there was actually fantastic for adventure racing. And then that brought you, obviously, like I said, in all our 120s, I know you're going to be there in the top 3, but that eventually took you guys to Rodrigues. And how was that experience for you?
Sure. It was absolutely incredible. I mean, what a privilege. I can't, the preparation and execution of that race, I never in my wildest dreams thought we would actually do as well as we did. There would be no way for me to have been there without Key Health Everest and without being a part of that team. But sure, we came together, and yeah, it was amazing. I think so. Michal has done 1 or 2 EAs as well, so there was some good experience there, and we had raced together for the year, so we knew each other's personalities. But yeah, we came together, and Jono's experience in navigation, well, experience with the paddling or the sailing and the navigation, he did really, really well. He was spot on there. And yeah, we just raced our hearts out, and seeing the international teams out there it was like my heart skipped a beat every time. it was so awesome. But yeah, it was just amazing. I don't even know how to put it into words.
Oh, girl, you know what's so beautiful? Speaking to you, I see an incredible humbleness, and it is so special to chat with people who's got such amazing talent, and I see such a beautiful future for you. And then you're just so humble about it all. It actually made me cry, yeah. Ooh, ooh, you know, if you see somebody who's got so much potential and you just take it so gradually and easy in your stride, and all I can wish from our side to you is an incredible adventure racing career. And I hope you're going to get picked up by a wonderful team. And, you know, just what I've seen here and our friends at home can see that this is a no-fuss girl. She just goes about it like it's nothing. I mean, they came 4th in Rodrigues with an incredible starting line. You guys really raced your hearts out. You know, you were at some point 1st and 2nd, or you're running around there. I can't even remember. Yeah. And we were just holding thumbs that you are pushing so hard, and it won't, you know, at the end, you know, fall apart for you guys. And you just kept it together, and you showed, I think, everybody that you youngsters are really the dream team for the future. So Emily, thank you for giving us a little bit of yourself. And before I say bye to our friends at home, is there anything you want to share with us to motivate others, or, you know, just to tell them to also do adventure racing?
Sure, there's so much, but if I were to put it in a nutshell, just to say get out there and do it. And if you ever question whether you can or you can't, the answer is you can. And I think about distinctive memories for 2014. We finished the closing ceremony of EA 2014, drove through the night back to Cape Town, and I had a final qualifying exam that morning at 8 o'clock. It was like an extension of EA. And you can do anything. If you can race through the night and think that you're going to die, you're not going to. You're going to make it through and it's going to be okay. And you're going to get through the next day too and pass exams and you're going to live life. So just get out there and do it. That's basically it. You can. Anyone can. I'm not special.
And you're not going to die, guys. I mean,
You're not going to die. Remember that. It's going to come in useful.
You might cry a little bit, and you might shout maybe a little bit, and you might have so many emotions, but you're not going to die. So you're actually going to be okay. Emily, I think I've said it in one of my other chats. There's a saying Stefan always say, and I think I need to keep on saying that to people. And the saying is basically, Heidi, always remember, it's always going to get worse before it's going to get better. And if you're going to have that mindset, like you say, you're going to suffer so badly. You're going to be so cold that you think you're going to die. But in your head, you must say, but this is not worse enough. It's going to get even worse. And then suddenly you just shift that barrier every time. And you know, you get through it, and next time you do it again, and you do it again.
But exactly, anyway, the sun sets and it rises.
From our side, I'm so happy that I could speak to you today. And you filled my heart with joy. And then it's all worth it for me. And I'm speaking to people and showing them these incredible people we have in adventure racing. Keep on the good training. And I just, from myself and Stefan's side, we can just wish you a wonderful future life in adventure racing. I mean, you started doing that race when you were 21, and I think I just told you before we started today, my first race was when I was 21. And it's now over 20 years later, and I still love it as with that first race when I was 21. So I wish to you many more EAs and also international races. I really want to see you in the next 5 to 10 years. I want to see you, you know, at some world champs and incredible big races, because I know you can do it. You are meant to race international, and yeah, God bless. Look after yourself, girl.
Thanks, Heidi. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. Bye. Bye.